Rubbish. Like this. The early family one, you mean, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, brothers. You know, nobody moved about much. One sister, well, she lived in Rotherham a bit, but the others lived in Reefham, a sister, and my brother lived in Lincoln, and the other sister lived in Lincoln all the time. But we wasn't what you could call a close family. We didn't see each other very often, only when we bumped into each other. But I was inclined to later on in life. I used to see Lucy and now and then, but not early on in life. It wasn't what you can call a close family. I never used to see my cousins or things like that, or very rarely. I have a job remembering the names now, come to think of it. Like we are closer to the children than I was to my brothers and sisters. I'm certainly closer to the children and to the grandchildren. But then you can hardly compare it really because of everything's so different. You know, life's so different and everything. Everybody, all the young ones nowadays are rushing around. And you see, when I was younger and things like that, it's not sexist or anything, but women just didn't go to work. They stayed at home and looked after the kids. Rubbish. I can't comprehend it, how they've let the child get in charge, which they have, lots of people have. Our children, normally I'd only got to raise my voice. There was damn good kids, actually, your mum and your aunties. Oh, they had the moments, don't think about it like, you know, so they weren't perfect, far from perfect, even when they was growing up as teenagers. But, you know, they was pretty good, but the children today seem to be, I want, and mum and dad says, you know, you can have it. They don't seem to comprehend that the parents aren't in the financial position sometimes to get these things for them. And the parent, you see, we never went into debt to get things. We just used to tell the kids we couldn't afford it, and that was the end of it. Banks wouldn't entertain you. I never had a chequebook for donkey's years. All I had at the bank was a savings account, because I used to get paid in cash every Friday night, and that's what we lived on. And if we could save a bit of that, we saved a bit of it. You just didn't get into debt like they are now. The clearest one was like when I went to visit mother in hospital in 1941, that was. It'd be 1940, because she died in 1941. That'd be 1940. I remember that, because I didn't recognise her. And then the next one was when, at school, I remember being in school, but not at the infant school and not at the junior school, but at the senior school. That is where Bishop King Court is now. I remember being there. After 3 or 4, actually, when we got married, I was quite happy with that. And then the children, when they came along, I was happy with those when they was born. But, I can't pick a happy one because I've had quite some happy things like when we've been holidaying and things like that. When we lost Natalie Jane, my eldest daughter, it's got to be that. That was worse than losing Dad and Mum and Bid's mum and Dad, you know, and minor accidents. That was certainly the worst thing. Certainly the worst thing. But otherwise, you get your sad bits in life. So you're expecting something, it don't come off, and things like this, or you know. But that's certainly the saddest. It to me, and probably didn't show it. I don't know about my grandma, but to me, it brought me a lot closer to them, to the other three. It makes you realise that we're rubbish, really. You know, if everybody says, "Oh, you're going to do this and going to do that," you've no control over your life. It's like, I'm not a religious chap in a lot of sense, but years ago a young chap said to us, he said, if you want to make God laugh, he said, tell him your plans. life is a bit like that. You think you've got it all under control and everything, and something just like that comes out of the blue and you can't control it. You haven't got a cat in hell's chance.
Yeah.
Oh, just a minute, you'll have to cancel that.
What? Oh, blooming tablets again.
Down, you woman. You know, you take about 6 or 7 a day, so it doesn't matter.
Dear.